All right, YouTube. This is part two of the radiator replaced. When I got everything out of here, pretty much, I found out. I don't know if you can see down there. Try to get my camera down there as best I can. Anyway, these are the transmission lines right there, and they're corroded pretty bad. So my advice to you guys is whenever you're in here, you never had your thermostat replaced. I'm replacing a thermostat. The thermostat is down here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that hole. Hopefully it'll let you see that hole right there. That's where the thermostat is. It's down here on the bottom. And then your transmission lines, guys, these right here are just covers, guys. This reminds me of the old G-bodies. If you ever had any G-bodies, cutlasses, I've owned 4 of them. I still have one that I'm getting ready to restore. All it is, guys, is these clips right here. That's all it is. What they do, they slide this in the hole, and then this right here, let me see, get a shot of it. This clip goes around this, and it keeps that locked in. So just basically that's all it is. All you need, guys, I used a pick. Let me show you. I used a long pick. Where's, I don't know what the, oh, there it is. Let me put this over here. Another thing, guys, always keep your stuff together so you know where everything is. You don't want stuff scattered all over, because when you go back to get parts, all that thing I used, guys, was this pick right here. Old long neck Craftsman stubby. That's all I use, guys. Now I am going to be replacing them lines, guys, because if not, you're going to have to do all this over again, and I don't want to do it over again. It's best to fix it while you're in there. I understand, man, I ain't got the money for that. I just got to pay for, I can only pay for the radiator. I get it. Whatever you got to do these days, man, you got to improvise. While I'm in here, I'm going to take and pop this off. I'm going to replace this. And another thing I recommend you guys do is clean your stuff up, guys. Like, I got antifreeze and oil residue on there. I'm going to get some Dawn dishwashing liquid, spray it on there. I got that suds one that just sprays suds on there. Let it sit for about 2 minutes. And then just get you an old toothbrush or scrub brush and scrub it off. Sorry, guys. But, so now all I got, the radiator, it's ready to come out. Well, I got to get that other pin out down there. I just pulled it out. I use this right here to pry it out, guys. The only thing I would say don't do, if your lines are fine, I would probably try to find another way to ease them out. Since I'm replacing them, I don't care if I bust a hole in the radiator because the radiator's junk, and I don't care if I break the line because they're corroded at the bottom anyway. And this thing has been leaking transmission fluid. Now I know it's probably coming from down there. So I got to order that. Another thing too, guys, what I always recommend, but it's totally up to you. I always recommend you replace your heater hoses. This one here's the lower left side, and this one here's the one that goes across. It goes from right here all the way over to here. So always recommend you do that, because I'm going to replace the thermostat. When you replace the thermostat, guys, it basically, the pressure gets a lot more in there, and then it could pop your hose. And then if you're doing that lower one, if you're doing the lower hose, if anything, guys, replace the hard stuff first. Because if you replace the hard stuff first, that upper hose pops. Oh, well, you can replace that. But the problem is, guys, when they pop, it's usually, you're out in the middle of nowhere on a late day. And you're going to have to pay, a couple $100 to get towed back home. Or if you don't know how to do it, you're going to have to spend money to have them do it. And replacing that hose, man, what a lot of mechanics like, they like the easy stuff, guys. they like the easy stuff because they can charge you more money, and they know they're going to make out like a fat rat, charging more money for it. So I just encourage guys, what I try to do, guys, is while I'm in there, what do I need to replace? Replace it so I don't have to go back to it. Now, worst case scenario, I probably just have to pull the fan out to replace those lines, but I'm going to replace the lines anyway. They're just corroded, guys. And what another thing I'm going to do too, guys, I'm going to take and I'm going to spray. I got me a pump sprayer. I got me a pump sprayer right there. I'm going to put Dawn and hot water in it, and I'm just going to spray it on there, guys, and just take a rag and wipe it out, because there ain't no other way I can get it, because I don't want to move this thing around. If I'd have known it was like that, I would position myself into another area where I can get a hose back here. But it is what it is. So I'm going to just take some Dawn and I'm going to spray it down in there, guys, and try to get that much grease and oil and grime out of there. Now, guys, this van, the AC still works. Everything pretty much still works on this van. I've been having exhaust issues, so I'm gonna deal with that too. I had an exhaust in my muffler back there, so I'm gonna work on that too, because I got my welder. I'm gonna patch that up, and I got parts from an old muffler here that came off my Nissan, so I got some metal there I can wrap and weld. Now, guys, a lot of you probably think, well, why won't you just go get a new exhaust for it? Well, it's just an old minivan. It's got 200 and some thousand miles on it. When I get done, I'm putting it back as my daily driver so I can do some more stuff to my Nissan. I'm not putting a lot of money in this thing, guys, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it runs good. The interior is, it's 50-50 because, you know, it's had a lot of abuse over the years, guys. This thing's been all over the place. All over the place. So that's why I don't want to, I just want to spend the money on the little things, which is a radiator, the hoses. I need a thermostat, and I'm going to replace those transmission lines down there too. So, because I don't want this thing leaking no more. And then I'm going to get that valve cover. I'm going to get this valve cover gasket off of here. And then I'm going to pull the engine forward. After I get all this done, I'm going to pull the engine forward and see if I can see what I need to do to get to the one on the back. Hopefully I don't have to take that intake off, guys. But we'll see. And I'm going to just check to see if it's leaking. If it ain't leaking, I'm going to leave it alone. This one's definitely been leaking because you can see the oil down in here. So I'm going to pull that off, scrub that all good and clean. And then this right here is PVC. Or I forgot exactly what the heck they're called. It's basically, it helps pull the oil around in the engine. I'm going to probably replace that too. Put a new one in there while I'm in there, guys. So, alright, guys. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. This right here is just a bolt. The only reason why, you don't have to take this off to replace the radiator. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I got to pull this valve cover off. But this right here basically just sits down in the hole. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to probably take it off of here, and I'm going to take and clean this thing up real good. And then when I stick it back down in there, there's a bolt that holds it. I'm going to put a little bit of RTV around it just to make sure it doesn't leak, because this is aluminum. And if you guys know anything about aluminum, see how it's pitting? It's corroding. See how it's pitting? This here was aluminum. So I just want to make sure that, and I'm going to clean it up pretty good. And I just want to make sure that it doesn't leak. Because the hardest thing about combustion engines, guys, is keeping it from leaking. And if you know anything about combustion engines, they leak. They leak. They leak. That's the only downside to them. You got to pay a mechanic, especially on these front-wheel drive cars, guys. You got to pay a mechanic a fortune to fix them. Because be honest with you guys, that's why I have a Z28. My Nissan's rear-wheel drive. My cargo van's rear-wheel drive. My Cutlass is rear-wheel drive. This right here and my other Nissan is front-wheel drive. But my other Nissan has a 4-cylinder in it, so it's easier to work on. But these V6s, man, they're a nightmare, because as you can see, half the engine's sitting in the back here. It's sitting back there. And to work on stuff back there, you almost have to take the engine and drop it out from the bottom to fix everything. But if this van was in immaculate shape, guys, it's starting to rust a little bit on the other side. And it looks like I got a little bit down here on the corner. But if this van was in immaculate shape, I mean, where it still looked like brand new, I would go ahead and I would drop the engine out of the front and I would just overhaul the whole engine. Put all new gaskets everywhere, put all new hoses everywhere. But it's not in immaculate shape, guys. So, like I said, it's just my daily driver. You can see right here. See right here where it's all rusted out. You know, what I'll do, I'm going to work with that just to kind of patch things. I'm not going to do a perfect job on it. And then it's also, it's rusting right here on the top, the window. So I'm just going to keep the water from coming in and slow things down. So another thing too, while I'm in here, guys, I'm going to check the air filter or replace the air filter. All air filters, guys, are key to robbing you of your horsepower. Air filters are no different than the air filters in your house. If they're dirty, your system's going to run bad. And in this case, if they're dirty, you're going to suck more gas. And we don't want that, not today's economy. So, all right, guys, well, stay tuned for part 3. Like I said, if I see any more things that I think you need to know, I figured these right here, these lines, man, because they're intimidating at first, but they're real easy. They're easiest set of lines, easier than the old ones. The old ones, they screw in, then you have to have a line wrench to tighten them up. But these right here, they're held in with a daggone clip. And if you know anything about the old G bodies, like I said, these hair clips kind of remind me of the window crank handle. That's how they hold them on with these style clips. So, all right, guys, well, stay tuned for the last video. I will shoot a last video, or I will shoot part 3 if there's something else I think you need to know. I'll turn it back on and show you. So hang tight, guys, for the next video, and I will talk at you in a minute.